So you've got all of these teams, and I suppose the zone did allow for that. It was very open. You had a couple of high ground points, but that was kind of it. But the damage, these teams, they're taking eliminations that aren't theirs. That's stealing. They're stealing.
Listen, all is fair in love and war,
Absolutely.
and this is war right now between every single one of these teams for that lion's share of the $130,000 prize pool for PUBG Mobile only. Reminder, the tournaments at the WEC 2024, the prize pool is $1 million scattered across 6 tournaments over 4 different titles. Now Indonesia, 15 eliminations with that chicken dinner, 25 points. Saudi Arabia with 16, but one of the main things is the fact that Turkey and Ukraine, in the previous game, they had the same exact amount of points, so the difference was still 4. And now with Turkey getting themselves 14, they increased it by 9. So the difference is starting to increase a little bit. And now we see Indonesia. My God, you're telling me you went from 42 points, second page of the leaderboard, jumping to 6 and 101 points in 3 games. They've been able to do in 3 games what teams haven't been able to do in how many games have we played so far? 15.
Yeah.
That is insane for Indonesia, DK. And I'm seeing a decent amount of people supporting Indonesia. I see the crowd, I see the supporters, and I love that energy that they are giving off. And I feel like that is a huge motivation for the Indonesian representatives on that stage, Nap.
Yes, it really is. It's always so much fun when you've got that support behind you, right?
Yeah.
Because even if we have a lot of titles here, right? So it could be people from different games, but they see Indonesia is there and they're doing well, and it's like, yes, here we go. And that's what's so great about it. And so that's another motivator for real. I mean, coming in here and you go, hey, look, somebody over there is Indonesian. They know what we're doing, and they're proud of us, and that's awesome.
You feed off that energy as a player
vibes.
on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely, I want to say, it relieves a little bit of the stress. At this point, I don't think it adds to it. No, because you had 2 days where you got 42 points, and then all of a sudden you're just destroying the competition. And we saw how close the top 5 was. Saudi Arabia now, I believe they're 14 points behind Myanmar. In 3rd, Brazil, around 122. So again, the race for 3rd is on, the race for 1st is on, and it's just getting tougher and tougher at this point. And with only 3 games remaining, there's no room for error, DK. So now they have to change it up with the next with the break that we have coming up before we jump into the second half. And what do you think are some of the things that the top 5 teams might be working on? Specifically, I want to focus on top 2, Turkey and Ukraine. What might they be able to do?
Consistency. That's all they got to do at this point.
It's been there already for these games.
But that's they got to maintain.
Yeah.
That's all they got to do, right?
That's true.
Don't change anything if it ain't broke. Just keep going, just keep flowing, and it will just keep. They will just keep succeeding, right? Because if they go for any crazy drastic shifts, that could maybe upset the entire situation. It's not like they're necessarily going to lose their position, right? But they're not going to be able to gain as much ground or just cement their position overall. So it's a very fine line that you got to play with here. But especially looking at the teams on that second page,
Yeah.
it's interesting to note that they all essentially still have a stake in this competition.
And with the second half, or with the last 3 games coming up, this is when the chaos mode is going to get activated by the second half of the leaderboard. And I know for sure that's when things are going to get. I mean, it's already spicy enough as it is at this point in the tournament. Let's be honest with each other here, but. Is at this point in the tournament. Let's be honest with each other here, but I want to know what's going to happen between Turkey and Ukraine, because Turkey has, I mean, the consistency is still there from day 2. Like we mentioned, 5 games in top 4, with 4 of them, I believe, being in top 3 as well. It's not like they were 4th. No. They're getting chicken dinners. They're getting second places. They're getting eliminations time and time again. And I am really